Many are fleeing California and moving to the state of Texas. You're moving to Texas and maybe you're considering it too. Well, one of the comments that I get all the time is, Dana, those property taxes in Texas, they scare me. Yes, they are scary, I'm not gonna lie. So in this video, what I wanna share with you is a comparison of California property taxes and income state tax versus Texas property tax and zero income state tax. And let's see which makes more money sense. Hello, my name is Dana Pollard and I've lived in Texas since I was 4 years old, and I've been selling real estate in Texas for more than 12 years now. I've sold new homes, investment property. We're not going to get into that. If you are looking to move to Texas and need help narrowing down where to live, then fill out my dream home questionnaire below and you can set up a Zoom call with one of my amazing agents to help you. They are skilled and trained to help you narrow down where to live and can help you find a home. By the way, when you work with my team, you're giving back to my channel. I'm hoping that this is valuable content for you. So that's all I ask, is that, you work with us when it comes time to purchase a home. Thank you so much. So first off, you probably have heard that, Texas has a lower cost of living. So gas, groceries, housing, all of those things are definitely lower in the state of Texas, but also consider your income may be lower here too. So definitely do your research before making the jump. But I have heard of many people say that they are getting similar salaries here in Texas. I would say the exception is probably teachers and police officers. Their incomes definitely are lower here in Texas. But if you're in the tech industry or medical field, you may be surprised. But now let's talk about those property taxes. All right, let's talk a little bit about California. So many of us know that California has one of the lowest property tax rates in the country. It's one of the few things that I've heard that California is lower on in taxes, but I will admit they are extremely low. And according to smartasset.com and people that I've talked with moving from California, if you bought a new home or a resale home as well in California, you're going to have at least 1% plus whatever city tax there is there and any other assessments. But I've heard there's a 2% cap rate in California, which is really amazing. I wish we had that here. We don't have that. We have 10% cap rate, last I knew. So that is pretty amazing. I'm not gonna deny it. So many of you may not be considering moving to a new home in California. I don't know. And so you may have an effective tax rate. And that's the same here in Texas as well. So when you first move in, you're going to be paying off the assessed value of the purchase price, and then year after year, they're going to reassess your taxes, and eventually there's an effective rate where it's lower. So if you're on smartasset.com as well and you see that the property taxes are lower, that's what they're taking into consideration, is the effective rate, which is going to be lower. But for the apples to apples comparison, let's consider moving into a new home, or a newer home, not brand new, but you know what I'm saying. Also, I'm not going to be talking about homestead exemptions if this is your primary residence or if you're a veteran or over 65. We do have many exemptions here in Texas, and you probably have them in California. I know that you have $7,000 exemption from, from appraised value on your primary residence, but that's only like $70 a year. We have a much better deal as far as exemptions in Texas, but we could talk about that later. So for calculation purposes, we are going to go with 1.115% for the tax rate, because you're going to have, that's one of the lower ones if you were to buy a new property, okay, in California. And the tax rate we're going to use here is my actual tax rate. And my tax rate is 2.75%. Yes, you heard right. I have a higher tax rate than especially older communities. I'm in a brand new community, so the tax rate is a little higher because they're still developing around here. But some of these older communities, you can get 2.5, 2.2, just depends where you land. But I want to be realistic when comparing for you, so we're using mine. By the way, the homestead exemption in the state of Texas can be up to 20%. That's kind of a big deal as well, so consider that in your calculations as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 3 purchase prices, okay, and 3 income brackets, averages. And so what I did is I said, hey, let's take a $300,000 home, and how much would someone on average make for if they were going to purchase a $300,000 home. We took a $500,000 home as well as a $1 million home. And wanted just to compare the different price points because there is a little bit of difference. And maybe you will be purchasing less than 300 or more than $1 million, and that's okay. We can help you calculate that, all right? So let's first talk about the $300,000 price bracket. The California property tax on a $300,000 home would be $3,450, okay? $3,450 a year with no exemptions. And in Texas, it would be $8,250. Woo, that is pretty scary. Now this, for a $300,000 home, I would say maybe the average family income, combined income, if both husband and wife are working, is probably about $90,000. And so with that, if you're calculating a state income tax according to the website, and y'all can correct me if you want below, if anything is off, just tell me, it's okay. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. Or maybe put in the comments below what your tax rate is for your property tax, or your income percentage in the comments below, because I'm very curious. So based on the internet, it says for a salary of $90,000, your income state tax is 6%. So that's gonna be $5,400 for California. Now for Texas, it's 0. So the total yearly tax without exemptions in California for a $300,000 home, let me know where you can buy a $300,000 home in California, because you can buy them in many places in Texas, but I don't know if they're in San Diego, maybe a condo. Let me know. So basically total California is $8,850 with the property and state income tax combined. And in the state of Texas, it's $8,250. Like, what the heck? If you combine the two, even though our property taxes are higher, you're actually paying less into the government. And that $8,250 can actually be lowered. Like, I calculated it with a homestead exemption. All right, so for a $500,000 purchase price, California property tax would be $13,750. And I would say the income is probably around $125,000 a year. So the state income tax is going to be $11,625 just for income tax alone. And in Texas, 0. So if you want to compare the two, holy moly, in California, taxes $17,375, and in Texas, it's only $13,750, and we're not even including the 20% homestead exemption. So already taxes are cheaper in Texas. And then the last one I want to compare, and then I want to sum up a little bit after, is for $1 million property, California tax would be $11,500. In Texas, it would be, this is a scary number, $27,500. The average income, I mean, it could be higher, it could be a little bit lower, but the average income would be $225,000 a year, which means your state income tax is $20,000, $20,925, for a total of $32,425 in taxes a year. And for California, for Texas, it's $27,500. So at this point, at all income brackets, it looks like the higher salary you have, the more you're saving if you purchased a home in Texas versus California. And we haven't even mentioned what you can get for your money in Texas versus California. So a $500,000 home in California looks so much different than a $500,000 home in Texas. Same with $1 million home. And so I guess all that to say is, after I ran the numbers, I don't know if you have to be that scared of Texas property tax anymore, because it's so much better. And I haven't mentioned, if you own a business, oh, there's a whole new video for that, right? Because we don't have, like, I think there's like a 1% cap on the businesses, like a franchise tax, versus California is much higher for businesses, which is why you're seeing all these businesses moving to Texas. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you have questions, feel free to email me in the link below. If you're thinking about moving to Texas, fill out my Dream Home Questionnaire and schedule a consultation Zoom call with one of my amazing agents, chosen for their like values as mine. But that does help the channel. Thank you so much, and watch one of these videos.